Mama's in the living room watching Judge Judy. I'm in the kitchen eating leftover sushi. And she yells, oh, girl, you gotta hear this one. A man was arrested for running a theme park. And when they said, where's your license? He said, my dog ate it. Oh, you can't make this shit up. Sometimes I wonder if life's just one big cosmic joke. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on a Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on her Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout, girl, you gotta hear this one. Mama loves to laugh at how absurd life is, says it's all a comedy and I'm her audience. And I love the way she makes fun of the world. She said, you'll never guess what's with their girlfriend. It was a man who didn't get us out of the bed. He said, I've been through hell and now I need some help. You just can't make this shit up. You just can't make this shit up. Sometimes I wonder if life's just one big cosmic joke. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on a Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on a Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout, girl, you gotta hear this one.
Hey everybody, it's Squid. Welcome back to the channel. Happy Wednesday. It's been a crazy day around here. Crazy day. We are another day of potty training, another day of mom with a headache, and another day of a toddler running around with a chicken, like a chicken with her head cut off, and screaming that she's like this oppressed person and that she's the most, I'm the most awful mom in the world. Speaking of awful moms, we have one today. We have a big one. But before we get started on that, Unhung Hero, thank you for the 20 Squid Pro memberships. I really, really appreciate you. You have absolutely no idea how much you were appreciated on this channel. And I really feel like I need to do better at acknowledging the people who have supported me through thick and thin and have laughed at the bullshit with me and just have been there. And I appreciate you very, very much. And I hope you are doing well. Hey, Flash fan, Hose Picker, good day, Earthlings. Jen Thunder, how are you? Jeffrey, as always, good to see you. Gail, thank you for always being there and supporting me. Hoy, was gone so long, missed the new intro. Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks with that new intro. It took me a couple of weeks to make it because it's still not the way I want it, but it's getting better each time. Calamari Expert started that. Hey, Sarah, how are you? Ammo's girl. Let's see. Your mom, how are you? Janet, sorry, didn't want to skip you. Oh my goodness. Malin, good to see you. Okay, this is going to be a relatively quick stream because there is not a whole lot to this yet. This just happened August 1st. This is really due. However, we are slowly adding names to this Bad Moms Club, and I hate it. So first thing we're going to do is read an article on, yes, Squid worked last night. I bet she's a little tired. Wednesdays are always crazy because I don't get home until 9:30, sometimes 10 o'clock on Tuesday nights. And then by the time I wind down from work, do a bedtime, like my nighttime routine, take off makeup, wash the face, relax. Like it's like 11 o'clock, and then it's just, and then trying to get up early on a Wednesday morning just sucks. But I am going with the bubbly today. I am trying to break my caffeine addiction. Oh, have I slept all right? I have not been sleeping great. Well, I've slept fine. It's just when you are like a 10:30 to like 6:30 kind of person, and you live with someone that goes to bed at 6:30 or 7 o'clock at night and wakes up at 2:30, between 2:30 and 3 for work, and you have insomnia, when you wake up when they wake up. And I don't always go back to sleep. So I get out of bed usually between 6 and 7, but I am up from whatever time Mr. Squid wakes up. 45 minutes after he leaves for work, I'm generally still up. And then it's if the little gets up like she did this morning, she got up when daddy got up. So I was automatically up and trying to get her back to sleep. So life just gets weird. Uh, the bubbly squid is drinking that for no, not. Yeah, naps are nice, but the problem is where do you find the time for those? And John, how are you? Oh my God, John, we are in the midst of potty training, and this little one, it's not that she doesn't know how or she doesn't have the ability or the readiness. She has a stubbornness that is just she just has a stubbornness. She gets wet in her training underwear, and I'm like, "You're wet. We have to go change." She's like, "Yeah, I'm wet. What's it to you?" I'm like, "This is just not." Oh, oh, it's just it didn't. I can guarantee you it didn't, because it didn't. Like I can almost guarantee that it didn't go anywhere. There was a pull-up involved, no training underwear, a pull-up, and an overnight diaper. There was the extent of the potty training. So it ain't no, this one is not from me. This was the little girl who could roll over at like 3 months old, but like didn't want to. Like she would look at you, she would start to roll over, and then she'd smile and roll back. This is a little girl that could stand up and start walking. And the minute you like started to congratulate her, she'd sit down and be like, I'm not walking. What are you nuts? Like, yeah, she gets the attitude from me. The stubbornness is from her father. The stubbornness from her father is the more you try to push Mr. Squid into doing something, he will not do it just out of spite. Yeah. So, yeah. Well, this is the only. So, you know, you need goals. One day without oopsies, 2 days. Well, right now, I would like 3 hours without an oopsie. I would like an attempt without an oopsie. I would like her to tell me, because she tells me when she's in diapers that she's going. But the minute we put these on, she's like, oh no, you're trying to potty train me. I'm not telling you anything. So, yeah, it's a lot like that. But we are going to get through this relatively quickly because at 2:45, Spawn and I are doing the NTSB hearings because it is Wednesday. And the only update that I have for the What the Hales is that in the Orange County lawsuit, Lips's husband, Michael Federico's, filed for a 5-day extension because he apparently got the boomer doomer. He got the COVID. So, but apparently that was spoken to with Randy and it was unopposed. Like there's no fight with it. So, which is fine. Like if someone is legit sick, fine. So, yeah. Mr. Squid is the more you try to push him into doing something, he will not do it just to spite you and piss you off. So, normal girl response, going to be a rough go, but it'll work out in the end. Yeah, she's smart. So I mean, it's not that She's smart and healthy. So it's not like there's a cognitive or a physical, it's a behavioral. And it's a personality trait, right, baby girl? Yes. We're not by yet. Delay tactics, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, all right. So this is Morgan Thornton. She is a 25-year-old mother, if we could call her that, out of Alabama. So we are going to oh, don't even. Morgan Freeman is awesome. Morgan Thornton is not. Limestone County, Alabama. A Limestone County woman is charged with capital murder following an infant's death. And trigger warning on this one, it does involve an infant, a 8-month-old. Limestone County Sheriff's Office announced on Friday, and this was August 1st and updated on the 2nd. Deputies said they were called to a home on that address for a medical call involving an infant boy after 12:30 a.m. Friday. According to deputies, they found an unresponsive infant who had been severely beaten and showed no signs of life. A pulse was eventually developed, and the infant was initially brought to UAB trauma services, but coded en route. Emergency crews then diverted to the closest hospital, Coleman Regional. Deputies said an investigation showed the child's mother, Morgan Thornton, was responsible for the infant's injuries. Yep, that's why we're starting a club here for all these bad moms. It's really bad parents, but bad moms had a better ring to it, and it's more moms than dads, generally speaking. You got to do what you got to do. All right. The infant passed away at Coleman Regional, and Thornton's charges were upgraded to capital murder. Morgan Thornton was denied bond Friday afternoon. While she was talking to the judge, she sounded confused. The judge explained to her that she's charged for unaliving Jonah, referring to her baby boy. But she responded saying, "I don't understand. I have thoughts. I have thoughts. I have thoughts." She was later asked the judge if someone could give her more information about what happened. WAFF's 48 Noah Cowell asked her after the hearing if she remembered anything. She said she didn't know what happened. "I put my son to bed," Thornton said. "I swaddled him and put him to bed at 7 o'clock. There's my thought number 2. And then something happened." Noah responded saying, "Do you remember anything after that?" Tried to give him CPR. Thought number 3. What she is saying, this is why people tell you not to talk to the media, because you sound guilty AF. Oh, and by the way, this kid was a twin. Could you imagine being that twin who lived and knowing that allegedly your mother unalived your twin brother? According to a neighbor, Thornton and her husband lived with the 2 kids in a rented home, and he can't believe this happened. Ellen Weatherford with Limestone County Children's Advocacy Center said these specific cases are extremely rare. They often reflect extreme circumstances such as untreated mental illness, trauma, or even crisis situation. Weatherford said, "This is not something we see often, but when it does happen, it deeply unsettles the entire community." The infant's body was brought to a forensics lab for an autopsy. Somebody needs to ask Mo if I can borrow Lord Chippy. "Please keep this family and everyone who responded to this heartbreaking scene in your prayers," said Sheriff Joshua McLaughlin. "While the outcome is devastating, I'm incredibly proud of our deputies, firefighters, EMT, hospital staff, and DHR workers who did absolutely everything in their power to save this innocent child. Their dedication and compassion in the face of such horror reflect the best of public service." Her preliminary hearing was Tuesday, August 5th. Here's where So I have thoughts about that first part before we get into her prior run-ins with the law. I don't remember anything after you put your son to bed. I swaddled him. He's 8 months old. Why in the absolute F? Like, I am not a perfect parent by any means, as demonstrated by our current struggle with potty training. However, an 8-month-old, generally capable of rolling over, who the hell in their right mind swaddles an 8-month-old? So either she's a bad mom and admitted to being a poor parent to begin with, or she's lying. You can take your pick at which one, you know. Hey, Tammy Main, how are you? Good morning, Squid. I hate that any parent could harm the child in any way. My first was born in 1985. Hey, me too. Followed by 2 more, all boys. Today, I'm still like Mama Bear, protector of them adults. I can understand that. Like, even when I feel myself getting frustrated as a parent, I take a step back and and then I start laughing at myself because I'm like, girl, like, she doesn't know any better and she's just doing this because she's 3. Like, it's different if she's 16 and she's having some of the attitude and I can, speak to her in a certain way, but she's 3. She doesn't. This is what a 3-year-old does. Like, but I'm just like, I am not a yeller. I'm a more of do not make me tell your father. But I do have apparently the mom look. Angel, what's up? Can I see your butt, please? Oh yeah. Okay. Speaking of sound advice for every male. However, speaking of mama duties, she did let me know that she needs to be changed. So I will be right back. This is the first time that she's actually let me know. So we are making progress. Which, hey, progress is progress. Like, yeah, I knew YouTube wouldn't like that. I will be right back doing mama duties. Y'all know the struggle. And I will be back in a minute. Thanks, guys.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals they take us higher. The night's young and it's just begun as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just 2 hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be 2 hearts running wild. Now the morning is the afternoon. We lay awake in bed. The glass so loud as the hours pass. We're gonna do it all again.
guys, that got a little bit more complicated than it should have been. Oh my goodness, because somebody decided they wanted to stand up and run around from this room to her bedroom and leave little puddles everywhere. So we had to go chasing after her with not only a fresh pair of, training pants, but a good thing I keep disinfecting wipes, the Clorox wipes, in various rooms these days because we went chasing little puddles everywhere. I love this. This is so, excuse me. And then I had to clean up and wash my hands and stuff like that. So, oh my, my goodness. Ah. Oh, how is everybody? 3 Awesome Dogs is here. How are you? Did anyone here watch my live this morning concerning the 3 unalivings in Florida? The illegal immigrant from India. Just wondering how I did talk about for about an hour. I did not. This morning was every morning is starting to be crazy, and then I had a doctor's appointment this morning, so I didn't. I haven't done anything. Haven't checked my email. Haven't checked my disc. I barely made a thumbnail for the next stream. It's been crazy. Then I had to go grocery shopping and all that. But how are you today? I will go back and I'll watch the replay though. Our YouTube stop eating my comments. Well, YouTube's got to do something. Spire, how are you? Hi and bye. Much love from Western Australia. You get a good night's sleep, my dear. This is the Yippee super chat for Baby Squid to buy a little treat for telling Mama what she needed. She has earned a treat from this Tammy. Oh, and Tammy, you're the one who gave her magnetiles, who got her the magnetiles for her birthday. She absolutely loves those. Those are an everyday staple. As soon as Daddy gets home, she pulls them off of the shelf, and her and Daddy have to play with either her reusable stickers or her magnetiles. She absolutely loves them. But thank you for the $5 super chat. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. And did you hear that? That was a good job. Yeah. High fives? Yeah. And I do appreciate all the tips and tricks and what worked for you guys, for your children. The sticker books, she has sticker books and sticker books and sticker books. So like getting a star sticker every time that she does a good job is not really a thing because she gets stickers. She has her own like folder with stickers in it. But I did buy mini M&Ms because she loves peanut butter M&Ms. So I did buy the mini ones, and she can only have them after she either tells me she's wet or starts to go on the potty. So like we're making progress. So yes, it actually does. Oh boy. Oh yes. She absolutely loves them. Yes, she still does like bananas. All right, getting back to the Bad Moms class or Bad Moms Club. My issues with this lady. One, swaddling an 8-month-old. Like, I am not a perfect parent by any means, but like, y'all, if you're swaddling an 8-month-old, she's either lying or she admitted to being a bad mom to begin with. Because the general principle, and like I said, don't take my parenting advice because I'm learning as I go, but like, you don't hold somebody's arms in that can roll over. Just a thought. Like, just a thought. Hey, Cat and Kern, how are you? It's just she's either a bad mom to start with or she's lying. Neither one of which paints her in a good light. I tried to give him CPR. As far as I'm aware, there is no signs of giving him CPR, and you'd be able to tell. even on an infant, you'd be able to tell. Yes, obviously you do CPR tad bit differently, but you would still see red marks from thumbs because instead of you either use 2 fingers or you wrap around and you use 2 thumbs, you would be able to see marks in the chest. Like you probably wouldn't break ribs because their bones are so soft. Like you would break an adult's ribs. Generally, when an adult gets CPR, you got a broken rib or two. It is just part of when you have to push that hard into the chest. It's just kind of what happens. So if you ever need CPR, you're gonna probably end up with a broken rib. Sorry. But it's just one of those situations where it's like there was no, as far as I'm aware, there's no evidence. Yes, chest compressions would be really, really apparent. And I've never actually done CPR on an infant, and I hope never to have to. I have initiated CPR on an adult. Thank God. As soon as we called a code, nursing staff was right there and took over because they are a lot calmer and better than I am. However, I've never done CPR on an infant, so I would assume that you would see it. Oh yes, you have to push hard enough into the chest to pump the heart, and you have a bone right here that prevents anything like when you get hit in the chest from actually affecting your heart. So they have to push 2 inches ish down into the heart or down into the body. That's maybe not for like a 30 or 40-year-old, but 55, 65, 75, 85. The older you get, especially a postmenopausal woman who has less bone density, there's a good possibility of broken bones. And it's a lot of the reasons that people choose to go DNR is are the benefits of surviving and how you're going to be. The pros and cons, you know? Hey, King Paco, how are you? It's good. If I write in Swedish, can you translate like Spawn does? Not quickly. Not quickly. I can barely speak English half the time, let alone any other language, and I don't have a quick translator available on my computer. So, but there's a multitude of things here that don't add up to me. Like, taking a break from the Nintendo Switch, probably a good idea. Yeah. Yeah, CPR is not pretty. You press the breastbone into the heart cavity. Too many people do not know what CPR really looks like. CPR is rough. CPR is hard. It's not like what you see on TV. CPR is you are putting your weight into a person and pushing as hard as you can. So, how do you play court cases without getting struck? One, because of I stop and comment, and 2, or I comment over, and 2, Law and Crime and Court TV don't really do that. I don't know anybody that's ever been struck from streaming a court case. I don't know anybody that has. Yeah, it's violent. Yeah, it's violent. That right there too. That right there. Oh, Gail. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Plus, it's public. And Angel, are you good? Hold on 1 second. Are you okay? All right, thanks for your patience. She had already gone, but she let me know that she was going. So we're making progress. This is day 2.5. So we're making progress. We're doing better. We're doing better. That's better than running around like we're wet and not caring. Because that's how it has been for the last 2 days. She's been like, I'm wet, don't care. So, here we go. I started CPR on someone who had a heart attack. I know about the breastbone. The first one was a hit to the breastbone. Yeah, do it. Do it. I've posted shorts of Simpsons Court before. And at the end of the day, it's all public. So it's, yes, Court TV and Law and Crime generally have the pool feed, but at the end of the day, it's public. So it's not like one of their shows that they're coming up with their own comment or their own content and commentary. It's just a trial. Housebreaking a kid. I mean, technically, technically, you could kind of, but a bigger attitude than a puppy. All right. So here's where it gets interesting too. Prior run-ins with the law. This channel did some digging into Thornton's past. Court records reveal she pleaded guilty to second-degree assault earlier this month. That charge stemmed from an incident in June when she kicked a police officer in the, quote, crotch area. Another criminal complaint from that same day said she was driving under the influence, putting her child at serious risk of injury. She was also charged with DV and disorderly conduct. Those complaints says she hit a man in the head when screaming profanity at in a neighborhood. She's married. However, I believe her husband wants a divorce. Yeah, so she's just a shit person. Yeah. These charges were dropped when she agreed to plead guilty to the assault charge. She was also arrested for and pled guilty to public intoxication in 2019. So she's not a very like yeah. Hey Timothy, eating lunch, just stopped by to hit the like and share button. Oh, these this chick is something special in a not so special kind of way. However, here is what I have to go through to get Alabama state documents. This is Alabama court access. So technically speaking, I don't have all these documents, but this is from this case. I spent it's $9.99 per search, and it's $5 per document. So needless to say, I will not be getting any of the documents in this case unless I hit the lottery. I'm just saying, because it's $5 per document. Because you can see when I do this, hold on. Like you can see I've searched 2 cases. So view. And if I update, I have to pay another $10. So it's and I'm not going to show that one because that's got her personal and my personal information on it. So I'll have to run I have to get the main document. But she was born in 1990. her birthday is, she was born in 1990, so she's 25. I'm from New York and a special kind of crazy. Huh. Yeah, this right here. I don't the word of the day is stupid. Like, yeah, Bama must be desperate for funds. That's pricey. That's pricey. That's even more pricey than Pacer. At least Pacer charges you by the page, not by the document. At like $5 a document, to $5 for 2 pages. Like $5 for 2 pages. So I have the documents saved and redacted. And here's where it gets interesting, because there was something on here that I was looking at and I was like, oh, yippee, this should be fun. So, and I was redacting, so let me not redact anything extra. I think I'm good with the redaction. Yeah, every state should have Florida sunshine laws, at least for public court documents. Because a lot of states are online for pay, but you can go in there for free and get them if you're a resident of the state. I've had some help getting documents from Nebraska before, from a Nebraska resident, because they were charging me $15 for a search. Nebraska charged you $15 for a search, but you had like 24 hours to access it, and whatever documents that you had from that search, you could get. Like whatever documents were there, you had 24 hours to either download or save or whatever you wanted to do with the information before you had to pay again. So this is different. All right, but this was from August 1st. And it does tell you everything, that it was last updated the 14th. And she was bound over. It's capital murder because the victim was under 14 years of age. And she was bound over for trial. And the last court date action was 8/14. It does not say anything in here. Obviously, sentenced. She hasn't been sentenced yet. But it does say that she had a $2,000 bond. If I can find, come on. And here's where it gets interesting, because you can see the documents. I just can't access them because this is a PDF. There is one thing in here from 8/13. And Flash fan, you'll like this. Order generated for other. Motion to record all proceedings rendered and entered. Order granting motion to record all proceedings. So all of these hearings from now on will be recorded. Whether they will be streamed live, I'm not really sure. However, the more interest that is generated in this case, I'm hoping that Law and Crime will be following, or Court TV will be following this. And we can watch her suffer. Because I don't think that she is obviously innocent until proven guilty. However, you were the one to put him to bed. You have a history of alcohol and you have a history of DV. Like, from what I understand, her husband is filing for divorce and completely blames her. Um, I can't, she'll go pro se. She has 2 lawyers right now who are both, um, who are both, I believe, public defenders. So, it's, the nice thing about this is they give you a whole bunch of information. Yeah, attorney will, yep, 2 appointed attorneys. So, Joshua O'Neill and Michael Sizemore. And I'm honestly, the fact that she has male attorneys, I'm not really sure. Okay, like there's an optics thing. If I was a jury and I saw that a mother accused of unaliving her child had and a male attorney, I don't know what my first impression would be of that. Um, I'm not sure. Um, hey Paul. Hey Paul. How are you? Late dinner took longer than expected. Uh, she didn't get James Owens. Well, not everybody can be that lucky. I know that it shouldn't matter, but remember, the brain interprets everything. The brain makes first impressions whether we want them to or not. Um, and having a male attorney, it would be like, what? Couldn't you get another mom who would defend a mom? Because if it were me, I'd be like, I can't defend this woman from this crime because, like, as a mom, I can't ethically do that. So if I were a member of the jury, my first impression would be slightly uncomfortable. Like I don't know how I would feel. And I know that's awful to say, but at the same time, this is what really happens. Like people make first impressions and people judge other people whether we like it or not. It's the brain does it automatically. It's evolution. It's how the body survived. That's why we are the top of the food chain, sort of speak. We evolved into being able to stay safe by judging on the spot. And I don't know how we would feel about that. I just I this is one of the things that as a mom is hard, but it's one of the reasons I cover things like this because it's like what would I do if I was going through voir dire in this case and they asked me, "Are you a mom?" And I said, "Yes." And they asked me, "Would you be able to stay level-headed or, non-biased?" And I don't know if I'd be able to. Which is one of the reasons that some of these cases I dive into and I'm like, "No, I'm going to sit back and wait for the trial and just watch as a jury member." And there are some times when I'm like, "No, I want to see all the documents. I want to follow every hearing. And I want to see this thing all the way through the end, knowing everything that the prosecution knows." So it's, yeah. Squid would get struck. Yeah, I would. I'd be, I'd be like, this bitch, this bitch. Like, I just can't. And I do have another PDF of her. And I only looked up 2 cases of her because I have to pay every time I run one of these case detail PDFs, I have to pay $10. So I did not read the entire article. I listened to a couple of videos because Law and Crime did do a video on this. I am not particularly going to watch that one because it they talk about the death penalty and I'm like, I will link it for y'all to go watch it. It is a good video. I think Chris Stewart is the one who I've been watching all those videos of. I actually like his show. He's one of those people who I can actually listen to and stand like Law and Crime's coverage of and not be like, shut up already. So, like, I would get struck. I couldn't be on a jury of this type. I could not be unbiased of someone who has harmed a child. And it's even the thought. Okay, so there's like, and Tammy, there's that like innocent until proven guilty. But like, there is this thing in my mind when you are the only suspect. When something happens and all circumstantial evidence points to you, and I see that circumstantial or that first layer of evidence, that without digging too deep, and it all points to one person, and I'm like, it's not like Karen Reed where you look at the first, like the basic, first level of investigation and you're like, something's hinky here. And then they point at Karen Reed and you're like, wait, the first like evidence, the fact that he had a bruise on his face or a wound on his face, the fact that he had abrasions on his arm point to physical altercation, not person versus vehicle. Like, so I would instantly not be looking at Karen Reed like the idiots in Massachusetts. And I say idiots as politely as possible if they ever see this, but Massachusetts State Police, you're something special. Something special. However, it's like what she said to the media really, really gets me, because it's like she said, I swaddled him and put him to bed. You swaddled an 8-month-old? So tell me you were either lying. Like, this is what I can't get over. She's either lying or she's a terrible mother to start with. Because as far as we know, this child was healthy. There was no, physical disabilities. He had no issues. He had no birth issues, birth defects, anything. So he was developing as a normal 8-month-old should. He should be rolling over. You don't swaddle a person that can roll over. Like, yeah, good point. You don't swaddle. Yeah, in that article, it said that she spoke to the and Law and Crime actually played the video of her talking. I don't want to get copyright struck, not by Law and Crime, but by that initial TV station. But she swaddled him and put him to bed at 7:30. The swaddling the 8-month-old, when I was watching it, I even commented on Law and Crime's video, and I never comment on Law and Crime's videos ever. Because Law and Crime's comment section is a cesspool. You think, like I was talking about yesterday, you think some people's chats are harsh. Law and Crime and Court TV's chats are brutal. But when I heard that is one detail that I cannot get out of my head. And I know, well, if I were the prosecution, because the prosecution is a woman, probably a mother, Kristen Clemens, and she's prosecuting this by herself. So if I was prosecuting this case, I would show that to the jury and be like, what? Mom swaddles an 8-month-old. And I would get the dad to say that if he was rolling over, get the dad to testify that he was rolling over. Because that would mean that she's either lying or a bad mom. Which neither one would paint her in a good light. Angel, you gotta wash your hands? Okay. You want some sanitizer on your hands for now until we can go wash it? Yes. Okay. You better rub them together, okay? Oh, girl, you got honey mustard on your hands. That's why. Hey, grab your rag right there. You see it? There you go. There you go. Come here. Let Mama finish. Nope. Can you give it to Mommy so I can finish? Okay. Honey mustard is the best moisturizer ever. Yeah, there you go. She had chicken here, and she was eating her chicken and honey mustard, and honey mustard becomes a... There you go. Yep. Go. Rub them together. Mwah. Kiss. Mwah. I love you. I love you. Oh, thank you. You're so sweet. Can you hand mommy the rag? Can you hand mama the rag? Oh. Hold on, guys. I will be back in a hot minute. Sorry, I just have to pick up her plate from her little stand before she steps on it because that's what she likes to do. Yeah. Oh, Janet, feel better. I understand what it's like. Girl, we're not. You're done with your honey mustard. Here. Honey mustard, the best moisturizer. You want grapes? You want the grapes? Uh-oh. Here. Oh, you just put it on your hands so you could get more hand sanitizer. I get it. And take care, Janet. Feel better. Yeah, this really got some triggers. Just the swaddle and roll. Yep. Either that, like that right there is, in my eyes, is like a form of neglect. Because it's like, oh no, once a child can roll over, you don't swaddle. Like you don't swaddle. Like you don't. But so that when I saw that, I even put in Law and Crime's chat, I'm like, or their comment section, I'm like, as soon as she said swaddled and went to bed, who swaddles an 8-month-old? Like, I just can't. So I got this right. Bama is charged as the capital one. Yes, and because it's mostly because, and I looked this up on my phone, I will have to do a search on my computer real quick. Alabama capital murder. So the reason that it was charged as capital is because of the age. Anybody, if you are under the age of 18 or 14 and you're unalived, the person who unalived you could be charged with capital murder just because of the age. So but capital murder does make you eligible for the death penalty. So there is that. And this came up so easy on my phone. I'll just read it from my phone. All right. Capital murder in Alabama is defined by specific criteria that classify certain murders Hey guys, I am on my phone. I don't know what happened. This is bizarre. Let's see. Shall we drop out and you can start again? I think I'm just gonna end this stream because I can't even show myself in the grand scheme of things. I can't even change my. There we go. I'm on my phone. So I don't know what's happening because everything else on my computer is running, except for StreamYard. I cannot load a StreamYard window on my computer. I can open up YouTube and I can play YouTube videos, but I can't open up. I don't know what's happening to. Yeah. So I'm gonna try to open it back up on my computer because everything else is working. So it's a StreamYard crash. Okay, so it let me actually load StreamYard right now. So I'm gonna flip my camera around. Well, let's see if I can actually enter the studio. There might be an echo for a minute, and there might be two of me. I apologize in advance. Because this is what's happening. Is it? Oh, look, now it's working. Hold on. I'm gonna enter the